Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to an unboxing of Magic the Gathering Unsanctioned. Um, so what this is Magic the Gathering. If you're it's a card game, sorcerers, magic, creatures, fantasy fight each other. Um, so what this set is a couple of times they've released unsets, which are basically goofy cards like artwork, things that they can't normally do. They were first released unglued, and then later they released unhinged, and then unstable. Just not even a couple years ago, wasn't too long ago. And now this is unsanctioned. So what this is, the differences here is those are like full sets. You bought your booster packs, like any other Magic the Gathering set. What this one does instead is you have five decks. 30 card decks with 16 new cards. So it comes with dice, some tokens, some cool land. But it's all one entire box set. So it has a couple of brand new cards. Otherwise, it takes cards from the other three sets, puts them together. You just buy this. You can sit down with a second person and play them because you have 30 card decks. You have to smash them together to make full 60 card decks. So I just want to take a look. So, yeah, I'm saying the whole thing with the unsets is they're usually goofy or outrageous ideas. Some are concepts that were left on the table, like maybe abilities that they tried to use and they couldn't. Some of them later on, like after Unglued came out, they maybe figured out ways to tweak those abilities and actually have a more accurate version in the set. But there's lots of puns and things like that, which is why I love it. So here's the inside of the box. It's your 5 decks. Kind of a big giant box for, not a whole lot in here. That's alright. There's artwork around the border, just showing off the different cards. So every single one of these boxes will have the same cards. So it's not random. Here are the dice it comes with. I do not want to focus. Alright, a little bit better. So they're kind of like cloudy silver dice. What makes them a little bit different than most dice, besides the fact they have numbers on them instead of pips, is they're all at an angle. You don't usually see that in dice. Again, just makes them a little bit goofier. I believe the silver is because the cards are always silver bordered. That's just it. You can set them aside from the black or the very old white bordered cards. So here's what we got. Block, welcome newcomer. I'll show you how things work around here. Trust me, you don't want to ruffle too many feathers. Number 1, in this fight in this ring, you'll need a team. Choose 2 of the 30 card decks, shuffle them together. You need 2 colored super decks. So you're going to have 1 deck for each color. Opponent does the same. Set aside the unused deck. Unsanctioned features some extra amazing art basic lands. They aren't part of the decks. You won't need them for this match since your other decks. You should need basically just add them in. There are also some cool tokens. What's in this fabulous, fantastical, astoundingly awesome decks? Take a closer look. So this is just showing off some of the green, red, black, white, and blue, and the different colors. I'm not going to go over these too much since we're actually going to dive in and look at the decks themselves. I didn't buy any unglued because I was still new to Magic at the time, and I really didn't know what. I don't even know if I ever saw any, so I didn't buy any of that. Unhinged came out. I bought a ton of Unhinged. I am missing 3 cards. And then finally, when the third set, my brain can never seem to remember what that one is. Unstable came out. I bought a couple of packs. I wanted to buy a bunch. I wanted to buy a full booster. I didn't. Just I didn't have the money at the time, and partly because it had some concepts of which are reflected in here, where you combine creatures, which were neat, but because you had to have so many of them, I was like, you can't just like buy one of these and add them in. So it didn't catch me as much. So here's some of the cool artwork for the planes. There's a neat foil on there. Backs are the same as every other Magic card. There's your island, swamp, mountain. That's just always what's cool about the unsets, is they always had these neat full art lands. So lots of people bought them just for that reason. So it's like it's the same ones, just these are non-foil. Here are some tokens. So we're gonna have a Beeble. This is one of the like creatures they created for the game that has been in there a lot. I just want to look at the expansion symbol there. So it's got an egg, which is the expansion. The bottom here isn't. Let's see if I can zoom in even more there. There we go. So the bottom is an egg that was unglued, I believe. The unicorn, the horseshoe was unstable, and then the wrenches were unstable. Unhinged was the U, I believe. So it's basically just combining all 3 of them. So that's kind of cool, rather than make a brand new thing. So the other thing it's also neat is, besides having just funny creatures, funny card names, is they'll have lots of like artwork things too. We'll just see when we get in there. I believe every card in here is from the reverse side. We got a token dragon, who looks a lot like an ancient gold, like D&D style dragon. I believe they're all from the unsets. Like, I don't think they threw in any regular cards. So here I have a squirrel. It looks neat because this is black bordered and everything to not make a difference with the token, but you could use this in a squirrel deck. If there's somebody that creates squirrel tokens. You can see there's a lot of Beebles. There's a squirrels on the back. I'm not going to necessarily remember exactly which set everyone is, so I might, or which ones for sure are the new cards. This is a pink border, that's kind of interesting. Giant teddy bear. You know, something you'd never see. And then there's just a regular goblin. Well, I mean, as regular as a goblin can get, I suppose. And in the back here, we have Acorn Stash. Place your acorn counters in this area. So we'll find what card does that. Probably the green deck. Alright, let's go through the different decks here. Start off with a white deck. Well, mini deck, I suppose, because it's only 30 cards. This video will be a little bit longer, so I'm going to go through all 5 decks. I'm not going to do multi-parts. So here, right away, we have the gold border. Not gold border, a silver border. Just to show that it can't be played in regular. All the black cards back here, these are just lands, so we're just going to set them off to the side. A little less to hold. So we have a flavor judge. Excuse me, sorry. A 2-cost white, so this is a chicken referee. It's a bird advisor. Tap it, choose target spell or ability that targets a permanent you control. Then ask a person outside the game if the story of what will happen makes sense. If they say no, sacrifice Flavor Judge and conquer that spell or ability. So that's one of the funny or odd things this game does. It's literally asking you to ask someone that's not playing the game if that would make sense. And so I would be like, target, a lightning bolt is trying to fry a wall. Like, oh, is that going to ever actually happen? Like, someone would be like, no, like, lightning couldn't destroy a wall. Someone would be like, alright, counter it. So yeah, just a weird ability. Now they're trying to make, here, a brick wall on my property fight a dinosaur to the death. So, like, I didn't even read that, but I suggested like a brick wall, like, say a wall trying to beat a dinosaur. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Alright, so that was that. Do they have any other secret stuff in here? No. Some of the older sets had text on the bottom that formed like a sentence. Frankie Peanuts. I think that was actually one of the newer cards. You can see like they're using the new borders. They did like all the new cards. They have the top here because it's a legendary. So if you own some of these in a previous set, they're gonna have the updated looks and text. Frankie Peanuts, 4 cost, white, two colorless, 2 white. Elephant Road. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may ask target player a yes or no question. If you do, that player answers the question truthfully and abides by the answer until the end of the turn if able. Don't cross him, you'll end up sleeping with the merfolk. So he's kind of like a gangster elephant. So that's kind of funny. Here's one of the original unglued cards. With updated text, of course. So it's, look at me, I'm R&D. This is kind of like they're template cards, and they slapped it onto another card behind it. The card is actually Moat. So it costs 2 colorless, 1 white. Enchantment. Look at me, I'm R&D, comes into play, choose a number, and a second number, 1 higher or 1 lower than the number. The first of the instances chosen spells on permanent spells and cards in any zone are in the second chosen number. So then they have all these little error message that they change it. So it says instead of comes into play, now it enters the battlefield, because they changed that. Lower than that number, instead of that number, it's the first number. All instances of the chosen number in the full text of each on permanent, spell, and card in any zone are changed to the second chosen number. So it just meant like crossed off the multiple because they're only choosing one thing. It's just kind of funny. They updated it. I don't know if this is the exact same as the original or if it's like a play on it and they updated it with newer rules that they do now. I'd have to actually look at that to find out. Here's another one that was a goofy one like that. Look at me, I'm the DIC, or the DCI. 5 cost, 2 white mana. Ban a card other than a basic. And a basic land for the rest of the match. All cards with your name in any zone sideboard are removed from the match. For understanding DCI's rigorous decision-making process, it's saying like how they decide what cards to ban. They are drinking and they throw a dart at a dartboard. So just kind of poking fun at them. And then down here it's just kind of neat. Artist is Mark Rosewater, one of the most popular guys. Next to Richard Garfield, that has to do with that. With magic. Alright, so you have staying power. This one's actually kind of neat. He's like, all of the artwork stuff, he's breaking the border. So we have 2 colorless, 1 white enchantment until the end of turn, and this turn effects don't end. So basically, like giant girls stay around. This monster's name is Mongo. Mongo's fleas no longer bothered him. The family of goblins that had moved behind his left ear was starting to get irritating. We have an artifact, and this is a mythic rare. Even though they're all in the box, they just give rarities. This stuff I'm sure to keep track of how they make sets and everything. So we have the Swords of Dungeons and Dragons to make fun of like Swords of Fire and Ice and all of those ones. Equipped to a creature, 3 colorless cost. Equipped creatures get +2/+2 and has protection from rogues and from clerics. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a 4/4 flying gold dragon creature token. That was our token we saw with flying. Oh, excuse me. And roll a d20, 20-sided die. If you roll a 20, repeat this process. Rolling a 20 and that's a critical hit, so you do it again. Equip cost 2. And then, so there's your dragon in the back. You can see, that's why I said dragon looked like a D&D dragon. That's why. So we've got like a mace tied to a sword. This dragon tail here that's making the and symbol. That's how the and looks in the D&D artwork. And then there's a 20-sided die on the hilt, or the hilt. Yes, I remember my sword. So now we have Sir Cadian, Night Owl. 3 cost, 3 colorless, 2 white mana, legendary creature, a bird knight. Knight Lifelink. So this is a brand new keyword for the set. Damage dealt by knights you control also causes you to gain that much life. So it works with all knights, not just him. Pay 1 white mana, Sir Cadian. Night Owl gains vigilance until the end of turn. Activate this ability only from sunrise to sunset because he's nocturnal. Or pay 1 black mana, Sir Cadian Night Owl gains fly until the end of turn. Activate this only from sunset to sunrise. So from sunset to sunrise, so at night he gets to fly around like an owl would. And then from night to morning, or from morning to night during the day, he has vigilance, so he'll kind of sit there and watch you, but he's not generally active. So it's kind of neat. Good play on an owl and, night owl, like take off the K. Night owl, someone that stay up all night. I'm sure Sir Cadian has something, but a meaning, but I'm not for sure what. This was the most recent set, came up with this new thing. It was a host creature. This is an adorable kitten. It costs 1. It's a 1/1. So when this creature enters the battlefield, you roll a 6-sided dice and you gain life equal to the result. So that's pretty cool. But what these host creatures do is if you have a second creature with this bar in here, it's also a host, you can combine them together. Do we have a... Let's see if we have another one. We do. So here's one here. We have a humming blank. Bird, creature type bird. Flying. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, you can augment, pay 3 plus 1 colorless to reveal this card from your hand, combine it with a target host, augment only as a sorcery. So what you can do is you can play the card, and now it goes like this. So now we have... So if I line up those 2 black pieces... Basically, this is what we'll have. You make these big giant creatures. We have a humming kitten, which is a bird cat with flying. And it says, whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, roll a 6-sided dice. You gain life equal to that roll. So instead of it being a one-time coming of play ability with the kitten, now it's every time I attack with 2 or more creatures, I get to roll a die. Plus, it's a 1/1 +2 +3, so it's actually a 3/4. Yeah, so that was kind of a neat thing they did. But again, that was one of the reasons why I didn't get too much in this set. I thought it was cool. There's a lot of cards like that, so it wasn't like, oh, I could play this one interesting card or funny card. You know, you started playing with these, you had to almost have like a deck based around that. So it didn't get me into it as much. Here we have AWOL. I love this picture. This is Jing. I don't remember his name. Crap. It's showing him running to the back, like, and here's the back of the card. You see, like, the reverse side of the back. It says, exile target attacking creature, then remove it from the game, then put it in the absolutely removed from the freaking game forever zone. He's basically, you can't just remove it, like discard it, or just remove it from the game and have someone bring it back. Play this, that creature is not playable anymore. Here we have MC. 2 cost, 1 mana, 1 white mana, a human rogue. He's a referee, basically. Well, he's the MC, I guess, not really the referee. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, you may stand up and say in a deep, booming voice, presenting, and that creature's name. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. The ogre appealed the match loss and got downgraded it to a warning. It's just like a boxing match. I don't know if there's anything in the back of the art. And I'm sure like these creatures are creatures from Magic. That's usually what they do. Love how the artwork takes over the front of the picture. Alright, so now we have Go to Jail. So we have Enchantment. Go to Jail. Enter the battlefield. Exile target creature an opponent controls. Go to Jail. Leaves the battle until Go to Jail leaves the battlefield. At the beginning of an upkeep of a exile card's owner, that player rolls 2 6-sided dice. For the roll double, sacrifice Go to Jail. So it's Monopoly. You send them to jail until this card goes away, but if they roll doubles, you sacrifice this card. So it's kind of funny. It's just an ogre giant again. He's probably from a card. I don't know for sure which one. I don't know every Magic creature. We have Knight of the Hoti Poti, 2 cost, 2/2 Knight, which is typical for Knights back in the day. First strike. Pay 2. Do the Hoti Poti. Prevent all damage of a sorcerer choice would be Knight to Knelt of the Hoti Poti this turn. To do the Hoti Poti, choose an arm, a leg, or your whole self and put it in. Put it out, put it in, shake it all about. You do the Hoti Poti, you turn yourself about. That's what it's all about. That's your flavor text. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, this is one of them goofy cards. Like, basically you want to use this effect, you have to dance around. Someone would be like, well, do I actually have to? Your game. You don't have to do anything you don't really want to, but if you're going to be playing jokey cards, then expect to do the jokey things. It's always how I feel like that. Old Guard. He's a Cyborg Soldier, cost 2, artifact creature. Pay 1 and tap target creature without its remainder text. Without remainder text. Remainder text is the italicized text in parentheses that explains the rules you already know. You say you're capable of flying. You got any proof of that? So yeah, that's kind of it's an odd ability. He has watermarks in here, like some of the guilds and stuff do. So that's kind of interesting. Here is an ordinary pony. Goes like with our cat and our hummingbird we've already seen. So it just, I believe all host creatures have this like post-it note here. It says when this creature enters the battlefield, and then you gain this effect. Unless you augment another creature on it, then you gain it whenever that effect is. So you may exile target non-horse creature you control that wasn't put into the battlefield with an ability this turn, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. We have the Paper Tiger. This is an artifact. It's a cat. All creatures named Rock Lobster cannot attack or block. The tiger is always quick to fold. Because paper beats rock. And we will, I believe the other two are in the set as well. I'm hoping so. Here we have another host. We have a strutting turkey. It's kind of a funny way for them to put like realistic creatures in here, like a cat and a turkey and a horse. Exile target creature with a converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard. If it has augment, combine it with a host you control. Otherwise, put it onto the battlefield. You basically get a free creature out of playing that. I mean, it's a 4 cost, so free creature is a little bit nice to have. And here's a special land. We have the Underdome. Add 1 colorless mana. Tap it to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to pay silver border costs. So yeah, basically a free land for free mana, but you can only use it on unhinged cards. In that battleground of a ring, the rules aren't nearly so black and white. And I think that is a poke at the original borders used to be white. The normal borders are black, so these are silver. So I think it's poking fun at that part. Alright, so that took a little bit longer to go through that one set than I thought. So I originally said I wasn't going to do a multi-part video. I am going to. I think I'm going to try and do the next 4 all in one video, so I have 2 smaller videos instead of 1 giant video. So catch you guys then.